Robert Kelly. Hello guys, Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is the newest Romie reports, and I'm not excited about this. It's just a matter of this guy, this nasty dude. Oh yeah, by the way, before we get into the shenanigans and nastiness, some positivity. I do multiple videos a week. Recaps, reviews of TV shows, like reality shows and scripted shows. I also have another channel, Romie Whispers ASMR, where I do some whispering, some soft voice actions, some therapy sessions, some, random role plays. It's a nice time over there. So there's a link below, and there should be a link above to the newest video there. It's Wednesday, so new videos up each Wednesday. We're doing the therapy session. After this, I have a couple ideas, but let's jump into the foolery and nastiness that we saw, particularly today. Robert Kelly decided that it was a good idea. Now, again, I don't know how this works. I was trying to look into it. I couldn't find anything yet. Excuse me. Because I know people can't be paid for interviews. So I don't know if him and his people were paid for this interview. I hope not, because he was the one who actually requested the interview. I felt a certain way originally when I saw Gayle King do it. I thought, smart, have a black woman talk to him. Optics, it makes sense. The other part of me was like, oh, I hope she's not going to get caught up in any of some dumb shenanigans because of him. But this is why sometimes it's better to just let things occur and then judge afterwards. And that's why I decided for the interview, I would just not say anything, because normally I wouldn't say anything anyway, but wait until it occurs and then see for myself. All right, if it looks crazy, if it doesn't. And not for R. Kelly. I knew it was going to look crazy for him, but I meant for Gayle King. But consummate professional she is, she handled it beautifully, and it made it look even worse for him, which is good in our case, but we need to get him out of here. Him and everyone, supporting the disgustingness and foolishness and all that. Get them out of here. R. Kelly decided to go and do this interview, and part of the backstory is his people contacted, CBS Today show, and Gayle said, okay, because, okay. And they actually went to his hotel room, because they're saying that he's staying at the Trump Hotel in Chicago. And so they were at his place. Okay, so they brought the camera crew there, mic'd up. Apparently the interview is over an hour long in its entirety. I heard an hour and 20 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, because I heard 80 minutes. Crazy. What I saw was a guilty person trying to convince the people who are on the edge, not his cohorts who fully believe him and just feel like, the girls were at fault, or it was just the parents. There are a lot of people at fault, but let's be clear. All of this is overall happening because of one centralized person who's getting a lot of help, or was getting a lot of help from some really bad enablers, because he was probably paying them more money than they thought they'd ever see in their life. And in some cases, it was probably true. R. Kelly was asked a bunch of questions. He tried to do what a lot of guilty people do, which is, and also narcissistic people, because I believe that he's so narcissistic and that he is a pathological liar. He believes in this, and it's funny how yesterday at work we're talking about pathological liars, or maybe it was the day before. I think it was Monday. Pathological liar is someone who really does believe they're telling the truth. They believe in their lies. So you cannot tell them. You can present the evidence and they'll still say you are wrong. This jacket is black. It is black, but they'll say it's white. And you can't tell them that it's not white. So that's what's going on there. R. Kelly, he's saying that he's never slept with an underage girl. Very different from with the Torre situation, where he thought it was funny to say, well, define underage. In this case, he said, no, he's never slept with an underage girl. First off, he should have never done this interview, because all he did was help incriminate himself even more. Because with him saying that alone, and there being evidence, to prove otherwise in multiple cases, whether it's this newer case and the original case, that in itself, the judge has enough to say, oh, this man isn't too credible. This man already, we didn't see him as credible, but now he's going and getting asked questions to help himself out, and he's lying. His credibility is just even going lower than we thought it could go. So we start with the credibility of that. He talks about how he even goes and gives us this example that had people thinking, wait a minute, R. Kelly is a great storyteller. He tells stories, and the stories are usually about stuff in his life. That's what his music is really about. It's telling you a story. It's supposed to. But with him in particular, he does that a lot. And I really like this filter. Shout out to Samsung. Anyway, and with him, part of the issue is he told this story of this hypothetical of, well, R. Kelly's a bad person. They're saying R. Kelly's a bad person. They're saying Robert's a bad person. At the end of the day, why wouldn't, that's like saying, comparing me to someone who actually goes and locks up women down in the basement, and they're making it sound like I have this cult, or I'm forcing them there against their will, and how I have them chained up, shackled in the basement, and how the girls get free only to go to their uncle's house to go and get sneakers down the street and then come right back to my house. I said, what? I said, what? Dude, you don't even realize how crazy that sounds, because now they're going to look into all of your work, look into your music, which has shown that it's actually a great example of your real life. I really like this filter, of your real life, and how you put your real life situations in your stories. So that alone made me think, Lord, do we need to check the basement now? Aside from that, so we covered his hypothetical story, his lying about the underage, about never with underage, because even Gayle was going through the list. This person said she was 17 years old. Did you sleep with her when she was 17? No, I didn't sleep with her at 17. I was thinking, oh, so is it 16 or 15 or 14? But she was like, no, never slept with anyone underage. I'm thinking, all right, so do we need to tell them what underage means again? Because to make matters weirder, there's also going to be another Today Show interview, but with two of the women who are still there willingly, or they're saying willingly, and they could have Stockholm Syndrome. They could be so brainwashed or just accustomed to whatever he's doing, or maybe he's nicer to them than he's ever been before, and so now they really feel like they don't want to go anywhere, can't go anywhere. You never know with these situations. It's all the way nasty. It's gross. It's disgusting. And this man, when he stood up and told Gayle, because he was looking in the camera a lot, because he said he wanted to go and tell his truth. He wanted to go and tell his truth because the media gets to say what they want. The naysayers, the people online on social media get to say what they want, but he stayed quiet. Ooh, I like that word, quiet. He stayed silent. He stayed quiet. And he was not going to do that anymore, because him staying silent, him staying quiet has aided in this story getting out of control and all these lies being spewed out. How all of us are lying on him, lying on his indigestion name. Gross. So that's when he stands up, and while looking in the camera, I was like, keep the camera on. Don't. And she was like, we're keeping the camera on. And he was saying, all y'all lying on me, and it's disgusting. And my family, what you put my family through, putting me through, all for some clicks. And I'm thinking, excuse me, sir, sit down. The last thing you, who is also being accused of abusing women, period, physically, is to go stand up raise your voice to this black woman in front of people and get relatively close. And again, it's not about, obviously, I did not think that he was going to try and hit her, that his anger was fully directed towards her. No, that's not what I thought. I thought was, you idiot. So you're getting this upset when you know you're supposed to stay calm. You're supposed to be upset. Express that, but stay calm enough. You got up, yelling and screaming and pointing. Again, even though you weren't pointing at her, the whole point is, if you can do all of this in public and your publicist has to come out and calm you down, and they have to temporarily, stop filming so that you can calm down and take a break and not look like a complete lunatic, it shows, well, what happens when he's upset when people aren't around or his usual enablers are around and he has an issue with a woman. It can easily be spun like that. And in this case, it should. Because this dude, he is operating from fear. He's operating from fear. Even though, yes, he's upset that people are saying this stuff about him, he's also operating from fear because he knows that this is bad. Not just that it looks bad, this is bad. He thought that he'll take control of the story. He'll go and give us a better story to tell and show us how it's us that's tripping. It's not him. It's us that's tripping. It's not him. No. And so we also discussed how Gayle asked him, do you feel like you acknowledge that you were sexually abused as a child? He said, yes. Do you feel like that had an impact on your decision making? Or no, did that have an impact on you? He said, no. I'm thinking, this... And then he said, oh, yeah, of course. Of course. So then she said, with it having an impact on you in general, do you think it could have an impact on how your behavior is and behavior towards women? I may have added the towards women portion, but you get the drift. He said, absolutely not. I'm thinking, you motherfucking liar. You gosh dang liar. If you're going to lie, at least do it Let me stop. Because I'm going down the wrong. So when he said that, and then another thing that they talked about was how she asked, hey, so the things that people are accusing you of doing, how would you feel if your children said that someone did that to them, or if they were accusing someone of doing that to them? He said, the police would have to arrest me once I'm done with that person. I said, oh, is that the case? Good to know. So your problem isn't with the law. It's just when the law is after you. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. He also for a moment talked about, because he was asked, hey, what about all these women who are, because Gayle was asking him, all these women who are saying you did something to them. He called all of them liars. And he did acknowledge that I've already acknowledged that in my past relationships, I immediately, or at some point, I did apologize to the women who I wronged. I'm thinking, so what's your version of an apology? Is your version of apology money? Is it, giving an STD and saying I'm sorry and cutting the check? Knocking someone out between the inch of their life and giving them their parents $1,000? Allegedly, I'm just trying to figure this out because this is insane. This is insane. It's scary. I'm tired of people just enabling people of color who are in power or have some type of influence or some popularity because of the system. We get it. The system is skewed against minorities, but that does not mean that all minorities are doing the right thing in life. There is a difference. There is a difference. And if you can't get that, then we have a problem. So that's all I have for now. Like I said, part 2 will include they're 21 now, so the women who are willingly staying with him. There was a press conference a couple of hours ago, that I guess the Savage family held, and, you know, had the family members saying, saying essentially like, come home, leave him, do all this stuff. Oh yeah, one more thing before I forget. R. Kelly had the audacity to also say, oh, well, you know, these parents who are saying that I'm holding their children hostage, aren't these the same parents who tried to go and sell their kids and give their kids, away to me? I said, so again, are you trying to say that they solicited their children for money and or tangible objects, and the kids are with you now? So does that mean that you played along based on your story? Again, we know that he is twisting everything, because yes, in some of these cases, the parents did bring their children to an R. Kelly concert, or, open to meeting R. Kelly, as long as they were initially there. Now, we do have to make sure that ownership is taken. Now, when someone is accused of foolery and wrongdoing, at the very least, you don't bring the people that are supposed to be, who are supposed to be in jeopardy because of the person's actions. I.e., if this person is an abuser of women, you don't bring your young girls around him. Abuser of men, you don't bring your young men around him, or impressionable teens around. That should be common sense. If you want to go and support them for whatever reasons, that's your choice. But don't go and mess up your kids' lives by going and bringing them around people who have really nasty intentions, possibly nasty intentions that have been talked about for years, just because you see that they're being supported and they're still around. That's ignorant. So that's all I have for now. I'm sure there's going to be much more to the case. I'm not going to guarantee that I'll be back for it. I will be back for when the women talk. I will be back for that. But anything in between, you might have to wait until, the ladies speak their piece. That's it for now. Romie Reports. Remember my other channel, Romie Whispers ASMR. Link below. New video up at the very minimum every Wednesday. I'm going to do a couple of videos a week on that channel. Thank you.